My mission is to impact the hearts and minds of women, helping them change their stories and empowering them to love themselves, their bodies, and their lives. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Change Your Story podcast. I'm Hannah Dawson, your host and transformation coach. I'm a certified personal trainer, nutritionist, mindset coach, writer, speaker, and creator of the Fit Club Babes app, and I am here to help you transform your life. While I love teaching all things nutrition and fitness, and trust me, you'll get lots of that on here, my true passion lies in the power of mindset and self-relationship. I know firsthand how powerful a mindset shift can be. It has profoundly impacted not only my health and fitness journey, but also my relationship with myself, and it can do the same for you too. Many women believe as we age, we lose our beauty, body, and health, but that's not true. You can feel and look amazing and get better with age, and I'm going to show you how. Are you ready to change your story? Let's flip the script one thought at a time. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Change Your Story podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you today to continue on lessons and reflections from part 4 called Second Chances. This is probably going to be my most favorite one besides the last one of sharing lessons and reflections, because there's just so much wisdom. So wherever you're at in your life, whether you've struggled with some of the similar things that I have, addiction is all the same. I want to say that. Addiction is all the same. It doesn't matter what it is. It does the same thing to us, right? So that's first off what I want to say, but I want to also say thank you for being here. I hope to inspire you today. And so I have 6 kind of lessons and reflections. So this episode is all about second chances. And I wanted to share part of my story where, really everything changed, where I took a leap of faith. I left behind the darkness I was living in, and I really stepped into a new life. And this is the moment where my dreams began to come true. And I know that may sound like over exaggerating, but really my dreams I held on to since I was a little girl, and they really did come true. And, but something I have learned is second chances don't just happen. You have to choose them, and most importantly, you have to protect them. And so this is for anyone who feels like you're standing on the edge, wondering if you are brave enough to take the leap. Let me tell you, you are. Part 1, second chances, the leap of faith. So for me, you guys, everything really changed when I decided to leave the life that I was living and move to Edmonton. And I didn't know what would happen, but I had this hope. I had this belief deep down inside me that there was more for me. And I had to take the leap, and I had to trust that the bridge would appear, right? The leap was terrifying, but it was also the best decision I ever made. I left behind everything I knew, the people, places, things, habits, and I trusted that the life I dreamed of was waiting for me on the other side. And so this is such a beautiful thing, because I'm going to kind of fast forward to now, or probably in the last, I had my breast implants removed. That's another topic for another time. But in that moment, that was, oh my gosh, that was 8 years ago now. And anyways, this is when I really started to discover my self-relationship. And so there was a scripture that I came across in the Bible, and it literally felt like it was for me. It was really confirmation of God's love, because even up until that point, like we're going to talk about today, addiction doesn't just go away. I avoided myself still. I was still running from myself. And so now I have this tattoo on my arm. It's got this girl coming out of a book, and flowers and butterflies coming out of her, because she chose to change her story. And so changing your story isn't about changing you. It's about changing the story that keeps you from being who you were meant to be. And so this narrative, or this thing that plays on repeat in your head that keeps you stuck. And so I came across this scripture, and so I got it actually put on my arm, and I want to share it with you before we get into today. And it's such a powerful scripture. And like I said, it almost took me back in time, transcended me to this moment in life where I got a second chance, where I took that second chance, where I leaped and believed and had faith. And it was this: But me he caught, reached all the way down from sky to sea. He pulled me out of the ocean of hate, that enemy of chaos, the void in which I was drowning. They hit me when I was down, but God stuck by me. He stood me up in a wide open field. I stood there saved, surprised to be loved. God made my life complete when I placed all the pieces before him. When I cleaned up my act, he gave me a fresh start. Indeed, I've kept alert to God's ways. I haven't taken God for granted. Every day, I review the way he works. I try not to miss a trick. I feel put back together. God rewrote the text of my life when I opened the book of my heart to his eyes. You guys, this verse is just so powerful, and I just felt loved when I read it. And so whatever your faith is to you, whatever your religious beliefs are, I all believe there's only one God. There's only one universe that created us, and it is love, and it comes from love. And so it was just like, being able to reflect and go, wow, like, in the depths of my darkest, he is there, right? God is always there. It doesn't matter where you are, he's always there, and just waiting for you to ask for help. And that's what second chances are all about, help. And so my lessons and reflections from this time in my life is this. Number one, life will give you as many chances as you take, okay? Second chances are always there, but you have to be willing to take them. And so for me, it was about believing in that little girl inside me who always dreamed of being a mom, a wife, and having this beautiful life. That hope carried me through those darkest times, you guys. That hope carried me through, those moments when I didn't think I was loved, or I didn't think that I was worthy, or all of those things. Even when the worst things were happening, I held on to it, even when I couldn't see how this life was going to happen. So if you're listening to this, hold on to your hope. It is the seed for second chances. And so I want to say, if you're like, I don't have hope, everybody has hope. Everybody has faith in something. You just have to look deep down inside and think about the feeling that gives you safety. Think about the feeling that you would wish for, and that's what you hang on to. And number two, you have to leave the old life behind. This was huge. I had to be willing to leave everything behind. The people, places, the habits that were keeping me stuck. I knew I couldn't stay in that environment and expect a different outcome. It was like standing on the edge of a cliff, knowing I had to take the leap into the unknown and trust that I would land somewhere better. And so if you want a new life, you have to be brave enough to leave the old one behind. Number three, the law of the vacuum. Addiction, ladies, doesn't just go away. Whatever addiction is for you, we all have addiction on some level. It jumps, and this is it. Here's something that I have learned about addiction. You can't just get sober and hope everything works out. Addiction has to be replaced with something better. This is the law of the vacuum. If you remove something, but you don't fill that space with something healthy, the old habits will come rushing back. For me, I replaced addiction with fitness, faith, and a new routine. And I started creating habits and a lifestyle that supported the life I wanted, not the life that I was running from. Too often, I see so many people, because I grew up in a life full of addicts and alcoholics. I just felt like that's all I was surrounded by, including my mom. And probably my mom is one of the biggest examples that I can use, is that, she just kept going back because she didn't realize, and she did, but I don't know why she kept choosing that life to go back to the same people. She would get sober, but she would hang around the same people and then end up back in addiction. And so she'd get sober for a bit and then go back. And there was no lifestyle, there was no environments to support her new sobriety, her new growth. And that's the thing, like, you can't just get sober like AA recovery is great, but again, those are just tools. You have to realize you are building a whole new freaking life. And so you, like I would even use with my clients, like to the people that chase weight loss and they're stuck in yo-yos, it's because this one thing, you haven't created a lifestyle. You have chased this external thing without realizing, and a lot of the time it's quick fixes, that it's a lifestyle you're creating. So that's why you have to start small and create habits that sustain that lifestyle. And if the habits are destructive, and this is a quote that I say all the time, is that health and fitness tools without direction or purpose, they lead to addiction, disorders, and dysmorphia. And that is hands down the truth with everything. And so if you don't have purpose or direction, that's really going to focus and flow your energy. It's just going to be sucked back into coping mechanisms, hurts, and hang-ups that really lead us back into whatever addiction it is that we were dealing with, the people, the places, and the things. Okay, so the fourth lesson in reflection is this, ladies, and this is so important, is protect your second chances, because it's like being pregnant, all right? Starting over, this new life, whatever it is for you, is like planting a seed, and you have to protect it. It's fragile in the beginning. Just like the first trimester of pregnancy, you have to nurture it, you have to take care of it, and you have to keep it away from anything that could harm it, or else you will abort. You'll lose it. You'll lose that life force in you. And that's why I'm so grateful for my husband, Adam. He was so protective over me in the beginning. Like if I would want to meet new friends and stuff, he'd be like, are you sure you should go and put yourself in that situation? And so a lot of the time I did, we just hung out, and I'm thankful for that, because I wouldn't be where I am today without his support and his love. And so what I want to say is, sometimes it's annoying when family members that are helping us, they'll always be honest, like, are you sure you should be doing that? And we just want to say, just leave us alone. But they love you. And so those are the people that you need to be around, the ones that will help you protect that new life that you are trying to create. Because if you get in environments that if you are not if you haven't fully given birth to that new you yet, here's the thing. Here's the difference is you are sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. You are influenced by your environment instead of influencing your environment. And so that's why it's really important in the beginning is that, you have to protect what you are working really hard for. You have to protect that second chance like it's a seed. You guys, it took me 10 years to get to a place where I believed that life could be fun without alcohol. And so in the beginning, I didn't see that. But having the right people around me really helped me protect my second chance. And faith, my church, those things were, what I needed at that time. Well, faith will always be what I need, but church was kind of this environment that really protected that. My husband really protected that. But even still, I would meet people from church and ladies that would drink alcohol, and they didn't understand. And so I got disincluded a lot. So and then that birthed a whole bunch of brought up more rejection and all this other pain that I had to deal with. People just didn't understand. You can't drink alcohol, but can you drink wine? Well, pretty sure that's alcohol. So it's you have to be very protective and selective of who you allow into your environment, and make sure, this is something else I want to say, make sure that the people that you allow into your environment are in a place where you want to be, that stretch you, whether that's mindset, whether that's relationship, whether that's career, whether that's lifestyle, whether that's health and fitness. Surround yourself with people that bring the best out of you, not sink you down to their level. All right, number 5 of lessons and reflections, your environment will make or break you. The people, like I said, the people, places, and routines that you surround yourself with contain energy. And so that energy will either pull you forward or hold you back. So in the beginning, I had to cut so many people off, even people I loved. I would have people, that were really a huge part of my life would say nasty things to me, like, don't you forget where you came from, and like, don't you who do you think you are, and all that stuff. So I had to really really separate myself and really be around people, or even just read books and listen to sermons or motivational speakers that really spoke into me if I didn't have that around me at the time, that support system at the time. And so you have to be willing to cut people off that aren't aligned with the life that you want to create. And I know that sounds harsh, but you have to love yourself enough to want better. And when you do, you'll be surprised at how much better life gets. And so I had to protect my environment until I became strong enough to influence it instead of being influenced by it. So if you're starting over, love yourself enough to be ruthless about the environments you allow yourself in, or environments you allow into your life. All right, last and final reflection is this. Belief and daily discipline are everything when you have second chances and when you are building something new. All right, you have to believe that you are worth second chance, that you are worth second chances that you have been given. And this can be really hard if you have come from abuse, you've been an addict, you have, done some things that you are not proud of. But you have to believe that this new life is better for you. You have to believe that you deserve it. And that you are strong enough to fight for this new life. If you got yourself to a second chance, you are strong enough, and you have to believe that. And it's not just a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. So something that really helped me, and I believe it is why I am still sober today, because like I said, recovery is great. AA is great, but you see lots of people in recovery in AA go back to addiction. Why? That was just a tool. You have to change your lifestyle. I don't want to be surrounded by potential addicts. I know this sounds really harsh, that I could potentially go back down that road with. I needed to get myself away. I just didn't want to be surrounded by that. And I get it works for some people, but sometimes it doesn't, because you have to change your environment. You have to change people, places, and things. And it's about this. It's about that. You have to get in the habit of daily practices and rituals that serve the person that you want to be, that take care and that water that seed, that pregnancy, that new you that you're trying to become. And so you have to take care of that daily. You can't do it, only at an AA meeting, or, only at rehab, and you think your life's going to be magical. No, you have to take care of yourself. That means your mind, that means your body, both with fitness and nutrition, because that is the only way that transformation will happen. And so personal growth, faith, fitness, nutrition, protecting your peace, these are things that need to become a part of your daily life. And you have to remember, little by little, a little becomes a lot. So over time, you'll look back and you'll realize that you've become the person you always knew you could be. This is so powerful. If you guys could take away anything from this, is that it is what you do daily that makes the biggest impact. It's the way you think. It's the way you believe. It's the way you speak. It's the way you move. It's the way you nourish yourself, both your body and your spirit. You can't neglect that. You have to believe in something bigger and higher than yourself if you want to be able to do this life better. And you have to also believe in who you are created to be and that you have a purpose. And so I'll sum all this up, and I hope that this has impacted your heart and your mind, and I would love to know how it has. So don't be afraid to reach out to me, message me, email me, anything. I would love to know how this has impacted you. So summing everything up, you guys, is Second chances, ladies, don't just happen. You have to take them. And I want to say this, is you can get as many chances, you can have as many chances as you are willing to take. I know sometimes when we get a second chance and if we mess up, it can be really hard to take a third chance and a fourth chance because we feel each chance or each time we mess up, we feel more discouraged. But you have to remember that, the life will give you as many chances as you are willing to take. And you have to believe that you are worth them. And you have to fight for them. You have to protect those second chances. You have to believe that you're worth them. Starting over isn't easy, and it won't happen overnight. But remember, every small step you take matters. Whether you are leaving addiction, bad relationships, or destructive habits behind, you have the power to create the life and change your story. You have to trust yourself, trust your faith, and surround yourself with the right people, routines that lift you higher. Second chances is waiting for you always if you are willing to take them. Last thing that I want to say, and I don't know why I need to say this now, but I'm feeling it come to my heart, is, it's not enough to just get sober and change your life. You have to surround yourself with the right people. The wrong people, it's so easy to, when you're an addict, to have compassion for addicts. But here's the thing. It's okay to be there for people and still love them at a distance. But if you want to get to new levels and new growth, whether that's career, whether that's with your body, after you have created this new life, you cannot hang around the same people. It's okay to still, support them and lead them in the right way. But if you have to protect yourself too, and know that those people won't be such a huge part of your life anymore. You can influence them, you can send them love, you can send them to the right environments, but you can't have them fully in your life if you're wanting to create this new life. You're going to have to love yourself enough to distance yourself. Stop surrounding yourself with people that are newly addicted. There are that you can influence them, but if you're hanging out with them all the time, that energy can drag you down. So it's good to love people. It's good to be there for them. But again, make sure that whatever life that you want, there's people in your life that pull you up, that pull you higher, right? So I just felt like I needed to say that. But you guys, that is it. That is all for this episode. I'm so excited to see you guys back next week for our final episode on lessons and reflections from the final chapter of Changing My Story. I hope these are impacting your hearts and your minds. Please, if they are, share with me that they are, and also share with somebody that you know that this could really impact, because it really is about, sharing. Sharing is generosity, right? When we hear something that impacted us or could impact somebody, we need to share that. And that is my only ask of you on this podcast, is that you share this podcast. If you want to leave me a rating and review, I will be truly grateful for that, because again, that helps it on iTunes and Spotify to rank and get higher so that other people can actually see it. They may not just know that it's here. So my ask of you is that you would help me do that. And so thank you so much for tuning in today. Love you guys. Bye.